Welcome, welcome back to Neffy Cat. We're so glad that you can join us today. In today's video, we're going to talk about two amazing darlings, a kitty and a doggy who became best friends, and that is so wonderful and is sometimes on the rare side. New friends of mine, Avila and Emmeline, who let me borrow this really cool book that's called Two Bobbies, a true story of Hurricane Katrina, friendship and survival, by Kirby Larson and Mary Neffy, illustrated by Jean Castles. This is just amazing. You all remember Hurricane Katrina, and on August the 29th of 2005, it decimated New Orleans. Well, these two survived it. When Hurricane Katrina happened, everyone was told to evacuate, and they were also told that they had to leave their pets behind. I wouldn't leave Neffy behind no matter what, and I don't care what they said. A lot of you probably feel like I do too. Bobbie and Bobcat were left behind. Well, first of all, Bobbie and Bobcat, they're a doggy and a kitty, as I've mentioned, and neither of them has a tail. Well, Bobbie is a lovely German Shepherd-looking doggy, and Bobcat is a lovely white kitty who has light orange patches in a few places, has a little bit of a tuxedo kitty pattern to her. It turns out that Bobcat is blind and partially deaf, which is amazing that this kitty survived. Well, Bobbie was like a seeing-eyed dog for Bobcat all through the storm. This blindness actually was discovered after they had been found and rescued at a shelter. Well, when the hurricane winds hit, they hit at 110 miles an hour, tearing everything apart. And Bobbie had been tethered to a chain. She ended up having to break free and drug it around with her after several days had passed and her food and water had run out. Same for Bobcat, because Bobcat had stayed with her the entire time. Both of them were wandering the flooded, broken down streets together to survive. They escaped droves of wild dog packs that easily could have killed them when everyone was searching for food. For month after month, those two survived together. They barely ate, as all food was a potential war zone in the animal kingdom. Well, they both lost a lot of weight, needless to say. And 4 months later, they came across a construction site. The kind workers began to feed them. After 1 week, they carefully brought both of them to a shelter, the Best Friends Animal Society. They stayed at that temporary shelter, and they had opened a special branch that was called Celebration Station that had been an arcade before. And there is when they discovered that Bobcat was blind. They had no idea that Bobcat was beforehand. Yes, and partially deaf. Well, now they knew why Bobbie was so protective over Bobcat, because even when they were trying to rescue them, Bobbie would growl anytime anybody got near Bobcat. Well, Bobbie was the seeing-eye dog and made sure that the kitty was safe. Yes, they ended up putting them into a cage together when they had Bobbie just howl and bark and be so upset one night that nobody could sleep. Well, they were best friends, and when the shelter had to close, they wanted to find a home for them. So they put them up as a story on Anderson Cooper's CNN 360 show. And Bobbie and Bobcat were brought to the Best Friends shelter in Utah that had another place. Well, hundreds of people applied to adopt them. And a wonderful lady named Melinda with her Boston Terrier named Gus drove out to Utah to adopt them, all the way from Southern Oregon. Gus and them fell in love. They even spent a first night there, making sure that they would bond and connect, and Gus made instant friends with both Bobbie and with Bobcat. And now they live all together in a ranch on southern Oregon, with even another doggie who's also a terrier called Amelia. They snuggle together every night after a wonderful farm adventure every day. It's a heartwarming story, and I love being able to share it with you guys, and I thank my new friends for sharing it with me so that I'm able to pass this on. It's absolutely amazing. Some of you might like to get a hold of that book too that I mentioned at the start of the show. Thank you all so very much for watching this video today. If you like the contents of our videos, don't forget to click those paws and paws that like button. You can paw the subscription button, and you can paw the notification bell. Paw all when you paw that notification bell, and you'll be notified so that you can see all of Nuffy Cat's videos. And right now, there's sleepy little winks right there. Well, thank you all so very much. And we look forward to seeing you in the next